Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the magnificent 7 plus 1. No, not the Cowboys, yeah. But a clarini, the high-pitched trumpets that can dazzle you with their brilliance and agility, today realized by our Jubilance trumpet players on B-flat piccolo trumpets and B-flat trumpets. They are joined by the timpani, the thundering drums that provide the rhythmic backbone of the ensemble, or in this case, the bass trumpet. Together, they will perform the allegro from a concerto by Johann Ernst Altenburg, a German composer and trumpeter who lived in the 18th century. Altenburg was a master of the clarino technique, which involves playing in the highest register of the trumpet with great speed and accuracy. His concerto for 7 clarini and timpani is a showcase of his skill and creativity, as well as a celebration of the festive and joyful spirit of the Baroque era. The first movement, Allegro, is a lively and energetic piece that will make you want to dance and clap along. So sit back, don't dance or clap along, relax, and enjoy the show. John Delaney conducting. Our next work is Giovanni Gabrieli's O Magnum Mysterium, transcribed by James Klages. Next we'll listen to a masterpiece of Venetian School of Music, composed by one of the greatest organists and composers of the late Renaissance, Giovanni Gabrieli. His name may sound familiar to you because he was the nephew and student of another famous composer, Andrea Gabrieli. Together they worked at the magnificent St. Mark's Basilica in Venice, where they experimented with the use of multiple choirs, spatial effects, and rich harmonies. The piece we're going to hear is O Magnum Mysterium, which means O Great Mystery in Latin. It's a motet, a sacred vocal composition based on a liturgical text. The text is taken from the Christmas Matins. and it expresses the wonder and awe of the shepherds who witnessed the birth of Jesus in a humble manger. The text is, "O great mystery and wonderful sacrament, that animals should see the newborn Lord laying in a manger. O blessed Virgin, whose womb is worthy to bear the Lord Jesus Christ. Alleluia." Gabriele sets the text for 8 voices divided into 2 choirs of 4 voices each. The choirs alternate, echo, and overlap, creating a dialogue that reflects the antiphonal singing of the St. Mark's choir. The music is full of contrasts, high and low, loud and soft, simple and complex. The result is a stunning sonic experience that will transport you to the glory of the Baroque era. So, are you ready to be amazed by Gabriele's O Magnum Mysterium? Relax, listen, and enjoy. Next, we're going to hear a march from one of the most famous oratorios by George Friedrich Handel. The great Baroque composer gave us masterpieces such as The Messiah, Water Music, and Music for the Royal Fireworks. The oratorio is called Judas Maccabeus. It tells the story of the Jewish hero who led a successful revolt against the oppressive Seleucid Empire in the 2nd century BC. The march we're going to hear is number 44 in the score, and it is a triumphant and festive piece that celebrates the victory of the Maccabees over their enemies. The victory is celebrated during Hanukkah, the Jewish festival of lights. But this is not the original version of the march that Handel wrote. This is a special arrangement by James Alcott, a contemporary American composer and trumpeter who has adapted the piece for trumpet ensemble. He has arranged the piece for 2 choirs of 4 trumpets each playing a different part of the melody, harmony, or counterpoint. The result is a rich and vibrant sound that showcases the versatility and beauty of the trumpet. So, without further ado, let's enjoy the march number 44 from Judas Maccabeus by George Friedrich Handel, arranged by James Alcott for trumpet ensemble. Jim Langford will conduct the ensemble. Our next selection will be Movement 2, the Lento, and Movement 1, the Allegro con Brio, from the Suite for 6 Trumpets by Dennis Horton. Dennis Horton is a retired professor of music at Central Michigan University, where he taught trumpet and music theory from 1968 to 1999. He studied with Clifford Lilia at the University of Michigan. Lilia was another revered trumpet teacher who taught for 32 years, retiring in 1979. The Suite for 6 Trumpets is written in honor of Helen and Clifford Lilia. Dr. Horton has numerous published compositions and arrangements, and to date has 16 works for trumpet ensemble. The suite for 6 trumpets has been featured throughout the world at the International Trumpet Guild conferences of 1990, 1998, 1999, at the Vienna Hochschule for Music, the Graz Festival, Austria, and in December 1999 in Austria, won radio on a live broadcast. And now, with Jubilance 3 at our Savior's Lutheran Church in Salem, Oregon. I might point out that our performance today will feature the second movement, Lento, first, and the first movement, Allegro con brio, second. It is not customary to play them in that order. It is customary to withhold applause between movements, even when they are played out of order. I suggest that in between the movements, you just take a deep breath and reflect on the beauty of what you've just heard and prepare for the first movement, Allegro con brio, which in English means fast with spirit, which is likely to take your mind off any discomfort you might have about what is customary or not. Please. Our next selection is Shenandoah by James Alcott. Shenandoah is a traditional American folk song that has been sung as a sea shanty by sailors in various parts of the world. A sea shanty is a work song that sailors use to coordinate their efforts while performing tasks such as raising the anchor or hauling ropes. Versions of the songs have linked it to riverboatmen, cavalrymen, mountain men, and soldiers on both sides of the Civil War. The earliest known version of the song likely originated with French-Canadian voyageurs who traded with Native Americans around the Great Lakes starting in the 16th century. The voyageurs gave weapons, tools, and money in exchange for animal furs, especially beaver pelts. They often sang while they paddled their canoes along the Mississippi River and its tributaries, including the Missouri, in quest of furs. The song tells the story of a trader who falls in love with the daughter of a chief named Shenandoah, and who longs to see the land of Shenandoah, which refers to either the river or the valley in Virginia and West Virginia. Shenandoah has also inspired many musical arrangements, from classical to jazz, from vocal to instrumental. One of the most elegant and expressive arrangements for trumpets is by James Alcott, a composer, conductor, and educator who taught at Central Michigan University for over 30 years. Alcott studied trumpet with Clifford Lilja, who you heard about before, at the University of Michigan, where he earned his doctoral degree in music. Alcott's arrangement of Shenandoah is for 9 trumpets, including 2 flugelhorns. The flugelhorns play the main melody, while the other trumpets provide harmonic and rhythmic support. This is Shenandoah, arranged by James Alcott. flugels only acknowledged 2 flugelhorns. We retreated to 3 today. That would have bummed us. All right. Next, we're going to hear Light of a Clear Blue Morning by Dolly Parton, arranged or adapted by Joan Paddock. Dolly Parton is more than a singer-songwriter. She's a living legend. The Library of Congress recognized her as such in 2004, honoring her remarkable achievements in music and beyond. Dolly has a natural gift for melody and lyrics. She does not need sheet music to play various instruments or write over 5,000 songs, of which about 1,000 have been recorded and released. Her talent and versatility have earned her nominations from all 4 major American entertainment organizations: Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. She's also a generous philanthropist who founded the Imagination Library in 1995 to foster a love of reading among children. Her program now reaches 5 countries and distributes over 2 million free books every month to kids worldwide. Dolly's journey to stardom began in humble circumstances. She was born into poverty in Pittman Center, Tennessee on January 19, 1946. As one of 12 siblings, she grew up in a 1-bedroom home on Locust Ridge where the music was her escape and joy. She started singing in the country church where her grandfather preached and made her solo debut at just 6 years old. She pursued her passion with determination and courage, performing on TV and radio shows in East Tennessee and at the Grand Ole Opry, where she met her first crush and mentor, Johnny Cash, at 13. He encouraged her to be authentic and follow her instincts as an artist. She moved to Nashville the day after high school graduation and teamed up with Porter Wagner from 1967 to 1974, becoming a country sensation. But Dolly had bigger dreams and wanted to explore pop music, which led to a bitter legal dispute with Porter, who sued her for a breach of contract in 1979. It was during this turbulent time that she wrote Light of a Clear Blue Morning in 1977, a song that expressed her hope and liberation. Everything's going to be all right that's been all wrong, she sang. Reassuring herself and her fans, she later said, "It was my song of deliverance. It was my song of freedom. And I knew God was in it. I knew that I was free. And when the Lord has set you free, you are free indeed." The song was not only a personal statement, but also a universal message of resilience and optimism. This is Joan Paddock's treatment of Light of a Clear Blue Morning by Dolly Parton. Well, at this point in the program, I was asked to acknowledge a few folks, and we will finish that list in just a moment, but I'd like to thank Emmerich Muller, Brian Wilson, Ellen Lorraine Paddock, Keith Weathers, and Willamette Valley Music, Salem Symphonic Winds, and everyone else who offered support to make today's program possible. You can hear the members of the Salem Symphonic Winds trumpet section in concert next week with our All That's Jazz concert on Sunday, January 28th at 3 p.m. in Rose Auditorium at South Salem High School. We invite your financial support of Jubilance 3. Your program offers instructions for those of you interested in making donations. There's also a donation box by the exit and a QR code you can scan to make online donations. You know, I think most of all, I'd like to thank all of you for being here to support the trumpet players and their families. They've been at this for a while, you know, to make this happen. And from the retreat at Greg's Place on the coast through the year, many of them sit together every Monday night in rehearsal with us, preparing the programs for our 49th season, which again start next Sunday. And I'll say that we're going to play next the Vuelta del Fuego, Rite of Fire by Kevin McKee. We'll close today's program with Vuelta del Fuego, or Rite of Fire by Kevin McKee. It was inspired by the Mexican Zorro sound that mixes romance, flair, and swagger. The goal of the composer was to write music that is fun, exciting, and fulfilling for both the performers and the audience. Before we hear it, though, I would like to acknowledge all of the performers you've enjoyed in today's program. Would you stand when I call your name, please, and we'll applaud when we get all of them wrapped up here. David Chasney, Jan Douglas, and John Delaney, Greg Hilfiger, Jim Langford, Doug Lutke, Scott Mischke, Joan Holland Paddock, Tyler Ramans, Brett Randolph, Evan Randolph, and Carol Smith. Thank you all. Let's give them a hand. And this is Vuelta del Fuego, the Rite of Fire by Kevin McKee.
thank you so much for coming to our concert today. Will you raise your hand if you were here for the Our Savior's Lutheran Church annual meeting? Okay, there were some people here that stayed, but they'd been here since like 10 o'clock this morning. Thank you so much, and look for Jubilance 4 to come after November next year, when we will have 3 Randolphs, perhaps, in the audience. Thank you very much, and thank you especially to the church and to John Skelton for being our living program notes, for Henrik for helping us with our programs, and for Brian especially for helping us with our stage setup, and for all of these wonderful trumpeters, and especially our audience. Thank you.